Hey, what's up, fellow toy nuts, toy collectors, and YouTubers? This is Starscream 1988, and today I'm going to be bringing you another toy comparison of two very cool toys. One is your American Power Rangers Operation Overdrive Drivemax Megazord, and that was a mouthful, and then the other will be your Japanese Super Sentai GoGo Sentai Boukenger. And with further ado, let's check these out. So, like my SPD Deca Ranger review, this will be kind of similar, but the only difference was that with the other one that I had done, my first comparison video of Super Sentai and Power Rangers, was that they were so similar that I wasn't sure if one was even Japanese or it was just an international kind of like knockoff version or something like that. So at least with this one, I am 100% sure of what they are. To my right over here is your Power Rangers Drivemax Megazord, and to my right over here is your Japanese Bandai GoGo Sentai Boukenger, and this would be your Daiboken. Now the only thing I don't have, I am missing a couple of little things here and there, but I'll go through those as I show them to you. As you can see there, I do have the Daiboken box there. I don't have the American one, unfortunately, just because I did pick this up in an eBay lot and it just didn't include the box. But I'll show you the box real quick. As you can see, it's pretty cool. It has the GoGo Sentai symbol, which is your Operation Overdrive kind of like, you know, symbol there, whatever. This was part of the 30th anniversary, so that's kind of pretty cool. There's all of them coming out, robot form, whatever not. There's your side of the box. There's the back of the box, which they do a lot of very cool details there, which is pretty nice. I mean, it looks like it's in rough terrain, and I'll be showing you a lot of these modes and stuff like that. That's the other side of the box. Alright, and that's basically it. So, taking the box out of the review here now, we can go back to the figures. Now, I will let you guys know this will be a long video. Obviously, if you just tuned in, you can kind of see sometimes when I click on a video, I can kind of tell already how long it is, because it gives you the counter. So I just just letting you know, it should be a somewhat fun video because they're so different, and I'll have some questions for you, for those of you that do watch my videos. I do appreciate it. For those that are new watching, thank you for watching. But I guess my questions will be as I go through this. You guys can probably help me out. So anyway, let's start with, we're going to do the dumps last, and I'll try to, as best as accurate, give you their names and whatever not. We'll start with number 2, just because they're kind of in front of me and whatever not. You have your Power Rangers. This is your Blue Ranger Gyro. Pretty cool craft. It's a 2-piece craft. It's supposed to have, as you can see, gyros there, your VTOL system, vertical takeoff landing. So it's supposed to, kind of do this and fly forward and whatever not. Here is your GoGo Sentai Gyro 2. It's also named Gyro, which is pretty cool. Big size comparison difference, as you can see there. In terms of the molding, it has a little bit, as you can kind of see there, hopefully, there's some chrome where the gyros would be. When you turn this around, you still have some detail in the back. There is hollowness there, and I'll tell you why that is. As you can see, that one is more hollow there. They're still trying to show you that's propellers, not propellers, but yeah, a fan. But the reason this is closed up is because the head is actually, or the face I should say, is part of the unit. Unlike here, this is actually a helmet. Pretty cool. It has wheels, so it can roll. Not very well, because this is a marble table, but it does have wheels, so it can roll, unlike the American one does not. It just, you have to make believe or whatever. So that's cool, whatever. One thing that it does do, and I'm actually watching the show right now, and I apologize for those of you that are Operation Overdrive fans, but I gotta tell you, this show is god awful. I have seen from episode 1, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, all the way until now. I think I'm on episode 15 of Operation Overdrive, and it is god awful. I thought Turbo was bad. Lightspeed Rescued, I hate it. Operation Overdrive definitely takes the cake. I think it's god awful, but to each their own. So with further ado, sorry about that, but I do think the Zords are cool, the Robos or whatever. So anyway, I have not seen this do this in the show other than when it's gonna attach, but it's kind of cool. Has some nice detail. Again, this is the American version. There's some you know, make-believe treads there or whatever. So I guess theoretically this would come out and it can actually still roll by itself. So that's kind of cool. This guy here does the same thing. A lot smaller, as I obviously said before. But again, there's some hollowness there because there's no face attached. But it does have the treads, and it would obviously do the same thing. The wings do fold, and that'll come into play after. So we'll show you that after. So you can see there. Alright, so cool. So I'm actually gonna take these and put these to the side. So when I do transform it, it's kind of ready to go, whatever not. And I apologize, I said that was number 2, that was actually number 3. Number 2 will be your GoGo Racer, which is this one right here, or your Drivemax Megazord Racer. Number 2 here, as you can see. Again, big difference in size, but at the end of the day, it's still the, you know, it's supposed to be the same exact vehicle. Why did the Americans go bigger? I don't know. I have a theory, but I think that'll be, I don't know, I guess, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I think my theory is the reason they go big is just because it's missing so much in terms of detail, and that'll come into play when I do transform this. So I think that's why it's a little bit bigger. As you can see, the rims are gold, and the American ones are just black on black with the tire. So that in itself gives you a little bit better definition with the Japanese counterpart. In terms of the spoiler, it's exactly the same. The bottom of the vehicle, which will come into play again a little bit after. It's basically the chest of the Zord, and as you can see, a little bit more better chrome there, and that's just painted silver and whatever not. So again, it's still fine. You know, in terms of the vehicle mode, it's very indicative of, you know, being very similar to the Japanese or whatever. So some gold chrome there, which is pretty nice, gives a little bit better detail. Now again, these have both been used and purchased from eBay, so you know they have a little bit of wear. The turbines, I believe these are the turbines for both. This one sticks out very, very long. It doesn't move up or in or out, unlike this one here. But again, that'll come into play. Oops. Come into play after with the transformation, whatever. And then these vents there look nice. Here you can't even tell what they are. There's like no molding for it. So all right, so that was your Racer number 2. All right. Number 5 will be your pink sub, and your GoGo sub, or Marine actually. Yeah, GoGo Marine for the Japanese, and this is just your sub for the American version. Now, unfortunately for both of these, I'm actually missing parts, and I picked up the Daiboken from a gentleman in I want to say Hong Kong. Was it that far? It might have been Hong Kong. He actually only charged me total with shipping $40. I know it's not one of the more expensive Sentai Robos, but that's because it's not very popular even over there. It's one of the least popular, but I think it's still a very cool toy. In terms of its molding, it is, you know, pretty accurate to the show. Again, I'm missing one of the claws, and they come out pretty easy. So in the auction, he was really honest. He was like, oh, you know, it's 99% complete, only missing that one part. So I was like, hey, you know, what the hell, for $40, it's not bad. This is the American version, obviously. In terms of the molding, it's pretty identical, other than, yes, it's just bigger. It is missing a lot of color. There's a lot more detail there for the maybe, I guess this is the turbine, the engine compartment. Obviously more detail there, which is pretty nice. There's some molding there, same moldings here, but this one actually is functional, and I'll show you that in a minute when I do the other transformation. Other than that, though, it's pretty close. There's a hole there. Nothing gets attached to it. It's just part of the whatchamacallit, the transformation when you do a particular thing, when you do the first transport mode for this, which I'll be showing you. So again, it's nice. A little bit of color differences, you know, as you can see, it's just strictly all plain white there. Here they added a little bit of gray, so it's pretty nice. Some silver there, you know, none here. But again, as I'm getting more into custom painting, I mean, that's something I can even fix myself. I can kind of, with my brush or whatever, I can, you know, kind of color those things in and just kind of give it a little bit better color and stuff. So again, so that was your number 5, your pink sub, or your GoGo Marine. Cool. Let's put that to the side. This is probably one of my favorites. This is your God, I hope I don't forget this now, so I'm trying to blank. Your not your GoGo dump, because that's number 1. This is your oh crap, I forgot. This is your excavator. No, it's not the excavator, but anyway, it's number 4. This is your yellow Rangers. You can see in color. Again, big difference in size. Sorry, I just drew a blank there. As you guys know, I do, you know, I freestyle everything that I do. I, you know, obviously read up on it a little bit, but I'm not gonna cut and try to, you know, make myself sound super intelligent or whatever, that, oh, you know, this is what it is. So, but anyway, so here's your number 4 again. A little bit difference in color. This is very kind of like flat yellow. This is more almost on an orange looking. You got a real cool temple there. The only thing I like about this one more is that the fact that the shovel, or the yeah, basically the shovel, whatever, is silver, and the guns are in silver. And I like silver a lot as a color. This guy has gray here, so you can kind of see the difference of, you know, the mechanism that would pick up the shovel, and the shovel actually matches the body, and the laser turret here matches these hooks here or whatever. Other than that, though, very similar. Even the back is very close. This guy doesn't have a pin to hold itself. This one does, and that'll come into play when I transform and whatever. There's the bottom, a little bit of detail there too, which is pretty cool. So another peg holder there, and I'll show you why that's there. So again, pretty cool toy. I like this one a lot. So very nice. Cool. So that was number 4. And then last but not least is your Red Ranger, or your Red Sentai, whatever. This is your dump truck, which is huge. I mean, it is obviously the biggest piece of a ball, as it is the main body and legs. And then here you have your GoGo dump truck. Couple differences that, as you can see, obviously, again, size is the main thing. This actually, you can attach the shovel to the side of it, and the pickaxe can go on the other side, which is really cool. I think that's really nice how you know, they add little things like that. In terms of the depth where the dump section would be, it's not very prominent here. This one has a lot more depth, so it's pretty cool. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, why did they change so drastically? I don't know. I guess one of the first questions I was going to ask you guys, and maybe I don't think I'll have any other questions, but you know, I have 40 plus Zords, and I don't have that many repeats in terms of American or Japanese, but you know, even doing like the SPD or the Deca Ranger one, you know, makes me wonder, well, where did they change? Where did they get so drastic where they totally changed the mold? Because it only seemed that the only difference that we weren't getting were maybe a little bit of chrome here, a little bit of chrome there, and some highlights and whatever in terms of colors. But now they totally changed. So was this the first one that did this, or was it a series prior? So that I don't know. So I actually have the Mystic Ranger Zord, and I was looking at pictures, and that looks similar to the Japanese. I don't think there's a size difference, so I'm wondering, you know, was this the one? But you guys can tell me, you know, you guys out there that are a lot more hardcore than I am. Again, I'm just starting. I started 9 months ago collecting these, so but that's that. Some chrome here on the tires, which is really nice. Some chrome there. Chrome here in the front of the grill. None there. I mean, there's no chrome on this at all. So that's basically it. And then again, like I said, size, they both roll very well, and they're noisy. Now, one thing that unfortunately for the American that they didn't do was, as you can see, the shovel and the pickaxe can be separate. On the American version, it's just one big piece of plastic. So unfortunately, you can't dislodge it like you can in the show. So I mean, I don't know why they did it, but maybe it's just cost effectiveness thing again. So anyway, so let's transform these bad boys and kind of go from there. So hopefully I can do this on camera. I'm gonna do the American one first, and then I'll do the Japanese after, and then I'll show you the comparison in size and stuff like that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the trailer kind of like hauler type look. I don't know the exact name of it, so I am sorry. There's a peg hole here in the bottom. What you want to do is you're going to want to grab number 2, and he has a hook back here. So you just kind of take this and just swing it forward just like that. You want to take him and bring this forward. Now this here, theoretically, it doesn't really get in the way, so it doesn't matter, but that's actually how it's supposed to be in the car mode, sorry. But you can leave it like that because it doesn't hinder, but in the Japanese this actually moves back. So you can kind of still do that if you like or whatever, just because when you form the robot, it's going to be down, so it's more noticeable. So that's basically it. So he's ready to go. Then you take your gyro. Gyro's over here. You can put the head back. Alright. You just kind of take gyro. There's some peg holders there where the helmet would be. That's the only way it'll attach. And there's some pegs there. You just kind of take this. And just attach it. And that's basically it, as you can see. You just take this little pin here. Put them on the bottom of the dump truck. And there you go. It's halfway there. Take this guy here. He's gonna go on the right side of the truck, facing backwards, I believe. Yeah. You can kind of take the shovel and just kind of do that. I think I have that on the right side. I hope I do. Let's see. Can I go this way? Yeah, that doesn't look right. So it's definitely this side here. All right. So you take that. And you take the sub. She's gonna be sticking out. You just kind of put it right there, and then there's your dump truck. And it's still, you know, this would pull it or whatever. It doesn't have much movement, unfortunately. That's as much as you're gonna get. So, but you would let your imagination roll with it or whatever. At the end of the day, obviously these are for kids. So, and I don't know if I didn't. I think I did mention it, but yeah, I don't have the claws on this one either, the hooks. So that seems to be the only thing that I'm missing. And that's basically it. So there's your transport haul or whatever it's called in the show. I do apologize. I'm watching it, but because I find it one of the worst shows ever. I'm fast forwarding more than I should, and I'll be honest. I think I've seen maybe a total of 4 episodes in the whole 15 that I've seen. So I'm trying to get through it as fast as possible. So anyway, so let's put him to the side. Now let's grab the debulking here. I'm actually gonna start with him first because he's not gonna do anything. He just stands there. So you just leave him here. The only thing you want to do is pull the front here, which is pretty cool. There's a little hook right there in the bottom. Just loosen that up, put it back in place, and just leave it resting like that. You get your racer, and see with the racer, very different from the American version. In order to get this pushed out and be able to flip this forward, because it is hooked in, you just basically push that back like that. Now you've loosened it. At this point, click that down. There's a peg holder there, or whatever you want to call it. You don't have to do anything else. Just leave them there. Grab your gyro, put your gyro together. There's pegs there, peg holders, whatever. There's the holders are there. Snap it together, exact same way you would the American, and there you go. Just take this, attach it here, and that is it. Now you take your Marine and your dump, not your dump, your digger or whatever the hell it's called. And just kind of just take this, flip it forward, do that. As you can see, she's gonna go on this side over here. There's a, like I said, there's a peg holder there. There's one inside there. Hopefully you can see that right there. And she just attaches just like that. Very nice. And then here's where I said that she had something that the American version doesn't. She actually bends in half. You might want to take the claw, bring it in. If you had both of them, they will obviously both go in. She snaps. Peg holders there. And I love the sound of this, and everybody does. Everybody always says that. Oh, I love the sound of the plastic or whatever. So there you go. There's your trailer hitch, whatever it's actually called in the show. And I'm sure in the balloons, I'll actually have the right words or whatever, the right terms, I should say. So this one moves a little bit nicer, has a little bit more freedom to move, unlike the American version or whatever. So, and it rolls just a little bit smoother too than the American version does. So it's pretty cool. So there you go. So let me actually just put these side to side now, so you can see. Again, big difference, color scheme wise. You can kind of see the difference there too. Yes, at the end of the day they're identical, but I mean that yellow, the yellow vehicle there is just very different in terms of the color from the American. I like how this is hidden a little bit better, just because it's so much deeper. So that makes it look a little, it's just a little bit tighter looking. Doesn't look as messy as the American version. So another comparison shot there. So I'm running out of room here on my video table. So there you go. So very cool. Alrighty, cool. So let me now do the robot mode. What's good about it, once you've done this, you don't have to do that much to change it into its Megazord form. So just unhinge it again. That hinge comes out either way. It comes out through, you know, comes out easily through there, or the other side as you saw me just do now. You can just take it, put that back in, separate this bad boy here. You can leave them just like that. Take the arms out, because these will become the arms. Put that to the side. This guy, basically, all you want to do is, let me kind of move this forward a little bit. Just want to pull the legs like that, or the dump part out. Separate them. There were some peg holders there, some pegs there. Get them nice and straight. Take these bits here, flip them up. Alright, so this is actually the front of your vehicle. As you can see there, it's going to be kind of tough. You want to take this here. It does move up and down. When it's in truck mode, it was like this. You just basically want to turn it like that. Bring it down. Take your gyro. Take this out. Put it back here, because you see those pegs there. There's your peg holders there. That's just going to attach like this. Actually, I got it on the wrong side. I apologize. It's going to attach right here, like that. You can leave the wings out, but I'd rather close them so you can do some articulation, like that. Then you take, here's your chest piece. That goes attached to those two pegs there. There you go. Then you take your digger here. We'll just call it the digger. And you just basically open her up like that. That can stay just the way it was, like that. There's the peg holder there. Here's one of her fists. And she will go on the left arm. So, as you can see there, hopefully. Like I said, it's a big Zord, so I'm running out of room. Her, she's real simple. She just only has her fist right there. There's her peg holder. That's gonna go right there. Like that. And then you will form the head. And let me just kind of bring this up a little bit, like that. maybe that'll actually help a little bit better. You just take this, some peg holders there, some latches there, and you just, bam, flip these up, which they're cut off, as you can see, just so they can fold in really nice like that. And that is it. That is your Drivemax Megazord, and this is fully complete. You can take his sword and attach it to the right arm, right there. So we'll put him to the side. Now we can do the Boukenger. Again, same thing. Dislodge it here. Separate that. That can just stay like that. You don't have to do anything else. Take this, bring it up, close it. Take these guys out. Like that. This does transform a little bit different from the American version, which is pretty cool. Basically, all you do is, you still, you know, obviously have to pull it out. Just take the pickaxe out, the shovel. You do separate it still. Bring these up, close them, turn it again. You're gonna give this guy shins. Now the shins here, these gold bits are supposed to be its knees or whatever I should say, not the shins, but the knees. Here you just kind of bring this out, pull it out there like that. Okay, do the same thing there. There you go. Now you have some feet. Now, unlike the American version, what you do next is there's no turning of the chassis. All you really have to do is pick this up there, flip this backwards like that. That's the back now of the unit. And then you bring that down and you have formed his head. So again, that's the one difference from the American version. Then you can take his chest piece. There's only one peg, unlike the American, they had two. One peg holder there. Attach that there. You're ready to go. Okay. Take number 4. You can still leave the shovel there like that. Bring that over. It'll click, as you can hear there. Bring the arms out. I actually forgot to do it on the other one, but I like to turn the turret around. So it's basically like lasers and its handle, whatever. Just hook that in like that. The sub, you actually want to bring it back up again. Push out like I just did now. And its fist comes out, which is pretty cool. Again, very different from the American version. Okay. This guy here, the gyro, same thing. Pull the head. Flip these around. These will be connected here. They're kind of inside the peg holders there, like that. And you can't really see them there, but they're honestly right there, and you'll hear it. And that's it. That's snapped. Take the helmet, put it in, flip these around, and your Boukenger is formed. Now, obviously, what's cool about this? Both hands can hold both weapons, the pickaxe and the shovel, which is pretty nice, as you can see there. Or if you're gonna do the, you know, its main weapon, which is the sword, just kind of take these, move these a little bit if you like. It won't freestand, so you do have to hold it with both hands, and then you just kind of basically come over here, peg that, and that's it. Now again, unlike the American version, there's like a little notch right there, so it stops you from going all the way inside the hand. So you honestly have to stop right there, which is kind of weird. So let me actually take this out of the way. Yeah, so it's very different in terms of how it holds the sword and whatever not. And there they are together, right next to each other. Move this a little bit forward, maybe to the side. And there you go. There's your Drivemax Megazord and your Boukenger. Again, very different in size. You know, again, for the question I had before, if anybody knows when they started drastically changing the most, because I'll be honest, guys, I started collecting these after almost 19 years of never really. I liked them because my brother loved this, loved these shows, but I really got into it when Samurai came out. I don't know why, but I just started collecting all of Samurai, and I own all the American stuff. So I know with the Samurai compared to the Japanese version is also very different. So, you know, is this where it started, or was it maybe a series prior to this? So that was basically it. To continue with this, you know, they both do 360 degrees. It's very tight though, but as everybody knows, you know, these are bricks. What's cool about the both of these is that because this bit turns, you can actually kind of have it pose like this, which is pretty cool. So it can almost do the ho from the Thundercats. So you can kind of do that or whatever. I love doing videos because you can amuse yourself, as you can see. But yeah, so it does have a little bit of posability. Obviously, the knees do bend because it's part of the dump truck feature. I don't think you would be able to hold it like that, but I guess you can kind of do that if you wanted to. You know, if you wanted to pose it, whatever. I mean, I keep all my Zords perfectly straight like soldiers, so I don't really mess with them. But yeah, so you can do that. It has side articulation there too. And that's honestly it. Now, the one last thing that they gave us for the American version that the Japanese actually doesn't do, and I was very careful, and every time I was picking that up, not to do it so you wouldn't hear it. And I'll have to get that close to the camera. Let me put this guy to the side. Is the one feature that they gave us that the Japanese doesn't do is right here. There's a button right there in his head. You just press it. I'm gonna actually turn the light down there a little because this is in the afternoon when I'm recording. Really cool. It's the same sound. It doesn't change. Pretty much lights up his whole head, which is pretty nice. So again, that is the only feature that they gave us that the Japanese doesn't do. It does have that cool little sound or whatever. Other than that, in terms of the comparison of it, to finish this off, it is very similar. It's, you know, it's not that much different, other than, you know, some more detail obviously in the Japanese version, and I guess, you know, more compact when it's doing the trailer dump truck mode look or whatever the hell it's called. But other than that though, I mean, it's pretty cool too. I'm very, very glad I have both of these, so I got very lucky. And that's basically the end of this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment, subscribe, share, and guys, let me know what you guys think of the whole American versus Japanese. I know a lot of people always dog the American stuff, but honestly, for the money that I got this for, which was $7 basically average, because I bought a lot and they included some Transformers and some Rangers, that's a really good price. This was $40. I know they sell for a little bit more for both of these, so if you can get them pretty cheap, I would do so, especially if you're a completist like I am. So you guys take care again. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye-bye.